Hey there, this video is for those of you who have purchased your makeup, just got it in the mail, and you're like lost and you're like, what do I do now? So I'm gonna go through an application really quick here and explain exactly where to put everything. So the first thing is taking your perfector sponge, getting it nice and wet so that it's really spongy, and then you're going to wring it out really well so that it's not wet but it's damp. You're gonna give your Stay Spray a shake and spray it on your sponge. And then you're gonna put that all over to prime the makeup to make it stick. I like to go on my eyelids as well for when I do my eye makeup and on my neck. Okay, in your palette, you're gonna put the colors. I like to place them like in the order that I use them. So my top layer, I like to put my creams, and I like to separate my powders on the bottom layer. So I will put my all over main color first, my brightening highlight second, and then my contour third. If you have a color correcting color that you're going to use first, you might want to put that before the all over main one so that you know that you do that step first. Okay, so I am going to do a color correcting couple of colors to show you guys who have purchased those where to put those. So first I'm going to go in with Frenchie, which is a lip and cheek color that a lot of people use to color correct dark under eye area. So I just use my finger and you're going to put it, it's kind of like a peachy coral color, and it's going to look kind of very crazy, but trust me, so it'll cancel out that dark color. So you're going to put that all over the under eye area where you've got the darkness, very first step. So all color correcting is going to be done first. Okay, then I know there are some of you that have like hyperpigmentation issues that we are correcting with some darker colors. I do have some here that like a lot of times I don't care about, so I'll just go through and do my main, but I want to show you how to get those covered. So you're going to go through with a crazy dark color because what you're doing is you're trying to match the blemished areas. So you can see that this looks ridiculous, but you're gonna have to kind of play with it a bit. You can try applying with your finger. If that doesn't give you the coverage you want, then take your Buffy brush and do that. And it's like a really light application, and you just stipple it on to bring all of the colors that you've got going on a little bit closer to the color of the rest of your face. So then I do also like to take my brightening highlight color, which is the lighter color, and kind of dab that in there as well so that all the colors kind of come together a bit more. And you can see how that really covers up those spots well. So you might have purchased even a darker color based on the color of your blemished areas. I've got that too, so I might color correct that a little bit. So I'm gonna go with that dark color, which I'm using papaya. Some of you have cinnamon. I'm gonna put that on, and then I'm gonna kind of go over it with the lighter color just to blend that. And you can see how it kind of takes like that redness away from that. Okay, so you'll go through color, correct your blemished areas. It'll all look really crazy at first, but it will all blend in at the end. Okay, so then you're gonna take your B squared brush, the smallest side, and this is where you're gonna go into that main all over color. Mine is amber. You're gonna just like dab it on there. You're not like digging into it, you're just dabbing it to get it on your brush, a small amount. And I like to do stipples, especially over the areas where you color corrected, because if you wipe it, you're gonna wipe that correction off. So I like to just do like dabbing. And you can wipe on in areas where you don't have any colors that you're worried about mixing. But you're just gonna get that all over, and that will make a nice even canvas for you. This is kind of difficult to use my the camera as my mirror, so bear with me. Because like when I'm doing my makeup in my mirror, this is a very fast thing. Okay. And then I'll go over my eyelid as well, just to, because take out any, you know, like veiny or redness or whatever you've got going on there. I think we're all blended. Okay, and you can see how then my main color going over those spots that I color corrected, it really blended in nicely. So that's the idea behind the dark color that you may have purchased. Okay. Then you're gonna take your Buffy brush for the brightening highlight. That's the lighter of the two colors. You're gonna dab it in. Mine is white peach. And again, you're gonna dab it on. This is super fast, all of this, because you're not blending it right now. You're gonna blend it after. You're just more getting the product on your face. And I like to do like kind of like a pie piece right under your eye, and you're brightening this whole area up. So you can see the difference between the two sides. This is like lifted and bright, and this side is not so much. So we're gonna do that on the other side. And I just like I said, I'm doing dabbing instead of wiping. Okay, and then we're gonna do the areas that would be lit up if you were to hold a candle up. So it would be your T-zone area. Okay, so you're gonna do here, here, and this is how we're creating that like candlelit glow, lit from within look. And you kind of will come around here. We're wanting to highlight and draw attention to our eyes is the idea here. Okay. Okay. Then I like to take, now we're gonna do the contouring where we're gonna add shadows. This is how we make our face look 3D versus just a flat all over, you know, one shade. So you're gonna go into your dark contour color. I like to use the Detail Hack brush for this. Depending on the color you have, some of them I find that you kind of need to like dig it in there a little bit with this. I'm using henna. I like to start at the top of my ear and go down. You can see how I have no definition for a cheekbone, and so we're gonna create that. So I start at the top of my ear and I kind of go down where my actual cheekbone is, and I like to use the edge of this. Now I did color correct in this area, and I don't want to blend those out too much. So I'm gonna make sure that I'm not wiping here so that I don't wipe off the other products that I used. So I'm doing the dabs. Okay, and you can see how it makes a shadow. You don't want to come too far in, which I actually sort of did, which is totally fine because it's a cream, so it just, like, I'll just correct that and just kind of wipe it up. Okay, and then, and it's gonna look crazy and everyone's like afraid of this part, but it's the best part. So, I'll wipe here because I didn't do a color correct. Okay, I'm just like getting it on. It's gonna look crazy and that's fine. Okay, so we've got some definition going for our cheeks. Okay, you're also gonna do the same thing on the top of your forehead. If you have a taller forehead, you're gonna cover more area, and less if, you know, if you have a shorter forehead. But you're making the shadows along your hairline so that the attention is drawn to your eyes. And I can wipe here, that's totally fine, just because there's nothing I'm worried about wiping off. Okay, so if you did color correcting up here, you're gonna more dab this color on. Okay, and then this is all, like I said, super fast because you're just getting the color on, not worrying about how it looks. So you're gonna follow your jawline to really chisel that and make for a slimmer looking neck and jaw area. And then you're also gonna do under your lip, you're gonna create a shadow, which will make it look like it's like a little more pouty and popped out. And then you also will do the edge of the brush to make some slim lines along your nose, which will just really like chisel your nose and make it slimmer if you want. And all of this is like personal preference, and you can skip any steps you have. So if you have like a super skinny nose that you don't want to make any slimmer, like make your lines wider or don't contour it at all. Okay, so I just put 2 lines down. I kind of go under here, and then it makes those shadows for your nose. Okay, so that's the foundation part. Now you just need to blend that together. So you're gonna take your sponge, which is already wet. I'm gonna sneeze. Excuse me. Excuse me. You're gonna take your sponge, okay, which is already wet from before, and you're gonna do just dabbing, and you're dabbing over everything to blur those lines out so that it no longer looks crazy, and it will be beautiful. This perfector sponge is incredible. And I don't like to, you know, like do wiping, because again, that will wipe off the definition and you won't notice those shadows. So I just kind of dab over, blur everything out. It will also take off excess if you used too much. Okay. See how that just all came together? And there's like all these little, you know, shadowed areas. So you've got some nice definition in your face. It's like a flawless application. It's so beautiful. Okay, then I like to do my blush now. So I'll use the small side again of the B squared brush to apply my blush. I use nude a lot right now for my blush. So you dab it in, it's gonna go on crazy looking because it's cream, so it's bold at first. You're gonna put it right above that contour line. So I smile to get that apple of my cheek to pop. I put that on with dabs again. And I love blush. I feel like everyone should get into blush if you're not, because it's just so beautiful. Okay, and then I'll flip my brush over and use the fluffy side to blend that out. And if you feel like you did too much or anything like that, you can, you know, you can use your perfector sponge to blot at it. You can even just go over with your highlight color again if you need to like take some color away. You can. It's really easy to fix any mistakes. So I really like I said, a little bit more blush. So I'm gonna leave that. Okay, so we've got the cream part of our face done. So now we wanna set it so that it doesn't move throughout the day. So you're gonna take your spray again. I like to shake it up a bit. Because I have lash extensions, I'm gonna cover and do it in 2 parts. I'm gonna cover my lashes. I don't like to get this on my lashes. So I'm gonna do the forehead part. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the under part. And then let that dry. And this is setting the makeup. Once that's dry, you're gonna set it further and matte it out just a tad with the Vanilla Dust powder. And that will just ensure that you don't get creasing throughout the day and that it really stays and helps with any sweating or oil. Okay, so I feel like I need it to dry. Another sec here. Okay, so again, I'll take the small side of my B squared brush for that. I'll dab it in. I love this powder because it's it doesn't take away from the pretty like dewy look that this makeup gives, but it just mattes it a little bit. And I just go over the light areas that we did, the brightening areas, because those are the areas where we tend to crease and sweat. So I don't really go over the contour areas with it. Also because I don't want to cover up any of the contour. Okay, so again, just under the eye area where we did. And these are dabs for me. I like to just dab everything, honestly. Okay. The last step of the face is the illuminator, and I do that last because I don't want any of the glow from the illuminator to be covered up by the setting products. So today I'm using the cream illuminator called Pearl. I love this one. So I just use it with my finger. Get a good amount on, and I just go at the top of my cheek, right on my cheekbone where I want it to kind of pop out, and dab it on. And then I also do the tip of my nose and kind of right up on my nose. And then that's going to give you that really pretty glow. The powder illuminators are way more like shimmery, like poppy. So if you were like going out or something, you might want to use those. But that's it. So I will post another video of eyeshadows and how I apply those, but I wanted to show you the application of the foundation, and it really is super simple. Once you get the hang of it, you literally are just swiping over everything super quick and then blending, and that's it. So I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any questions. Thanks so much.